Alori Radio, transmitting from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat, Agodi Ibadan. You can join us live on Facebook on www.facebook.com/Alori Radio. Also on YouTube at Alori Radio. We also have a website, that's www.aloriradio.com. And if you want to reach us via our phone, you can reach us on 09039853731. My name is Oluwa Tobi Afolabi. I welcome you to another wonderful session on the Business and Life series.
As a people with one heart for one cause, we're determined to rebuild and restore. We're free.
So today we have a wonderful topic to discuss, titled Hustle Has No Age Restriction. I say again, hustle has no age restriction. I believe we are all familiar with that word, with the word hustle. You've heard it one time or the other. You're a hustler, he's a hustler. You have the hustle blood in you and things like that. So I would want us to discuss about hustle has no age restriction. Enjoy the show.
We believe in this nation, and we'll get there.
So let's start from here. What is hustle? What is hustle? If you look at it from the dictionary, it simply means somebody that gets things done amidst the noise, amidst the distractions, amidst the chaos and different kind of things that might want to just take your mind off things. You make impact, you are useful and get results amidst the distraction. That is the definition, the dictionary definition of hustle. But there's going to be a different tilt to it today from me. And my own definition of hustle, simply put, is the ability to provide whatever is needed amidst the noise and distraction. The ability to provide whatever is needed amidst the noise and distraction. So moving on, I will ask, who is a hustler? Think about that for 20 seconds.
And for generations to come.
Yeah, welcome back. So I say, who is a hustler? A hustler is someone who doesn't let any opportunity that comes his way slip away. One of my definitions of a hustler is someone that doesn't let any opportunity. You get, a hustler is somebody that knows everybody. You are a fashion designer and the service for a laundryman pops up and you know somebody that is into laundry. You are a chef and an opportunity for somebody that is into cake or that is into cocktails and mocktails comes up and you know somebody there, and in the process of you referring somebody to the person that needs, you also make a little bit of something from that referral. That is one of my definition of a hustler. Another definition of a hustler is a jack of all trades. A hustler is somebody that, like I said before, that knows everybody and doesn't let any opportunity slip away. So that makes a hustler a jack of all trades. We know this word, we've always heard it. They say somebody is a jack of all trades, master of none. Well, my own definition for a hustler, when I call a hustler a jack of all trades, is that a hustler is a jack of all trades and knows a master or knows masters in all other trades. So I am a professional chef, for instance, but I know other professionals in other fields So I know a professional tailor, I know a professional barber, I know a professional this, I know a professional that. That is a hustler, because an opportunity can come from those places and you will be able to tap. Let me use that word. You'll be able to tap, you'll be able to benefit from such opportunity. That is another definition of a hustler. Again, who is a hustler? A hustler is not determined, like I said. These are my own definitions from the experiences and the people I've spoken with. These are part of my own definition. A hustler is not determined by age or financial capacity. What does this mean? You don't need to be the oldest, you don't need to be the wisest before you can be a hustler. So long you are able to tap into opportunities that shows up, you are a hustler. Well, so with that, I would like to go on a short break, but before that, I want you to prepare your mind for the different levels of hustle or hustler. There are different levels. So when we get back from this short commercial, we'll go into that. Please stay tuned.
Waiting be love if you know them. If you know them, it's really not the same. Oh no, I never thought that I could love anybody the way that I love you so completely. Oh my baby, you are the formula. You give me joy, and nobody knows me more. Nobody knows me more than you, oh baby. 'Cause I know me wrong. No one completes me more. No one completes me more than you. If I don't get you, it's like the sun without.
Welcome back from that short commercial. So as we were saying, I said we are going to talk about the different levels of a hustler or different levels of hustle. And this different level of hustle just simply means that the kind of things that a hustler can do, the kind of prospect. How do you know who is a hustler? How are you able to distinguish a hustler? So one of the ways you can actually distinguish a hustler is that a hustler uses little, the little he has or knows, to get the more that he wants. Simply put, a hustler is somebody that uses 50 naira to make 500. A hustler is somebody that can use one seed to get 100. A hustler is not somebody that finds it difficult to multiply. A hustler is somebody that looks for ways. What can I do? What can I get my hands into to actually multiply this little I have, or this little I have access to, or this little that I know? That is one way of knowing who a hustler, or differentiating the levels of hustler. So you meet some hustlers that can use 5 to generate 10. You meet some that can use 5 to generate 50. So you'll be able to distinguish the levels of hustler based on the results that they get. Alright, another level or way to distinguish who a hustler is a hustler. You can actually describe a hustler as should I say, a vulture, or I should say a very sharp listener. Because if you look at the vulture as if you've read about it before, vulture can smell blood from mile away. So as a hustler, you should be able to sniff out opportunities. You should be able to, like, okay, I think this is a good prospect on making money, or getting results from this. So before it even looks like it, a hustler is somebody that knows that, okay, I think this is a good opportunity this is a good business opportunity that I can actually invest into, or I can actually go into. So a hustler learns and knows how to look out for the small big things. So for some people, for every other person, what is available might look like it is irrelevant. It is nothing. But for a hustler, he sees a tree from a seed in a seed. He sees a tree in a seed. So as a hustler learns how to look out for those little big things. Alright, moving forward, let's talk about the attributes, the qualities of a hustler. And I I believe we all saw, if not all, at least some of us saw the movie Avengers, and I like a line there that Hulk used, the Hulk, when he was asked by one of his colleagues there that, okay, Hulk, I think it's time for you to be hungry, and he gave the person a response. He said, "No, the problem, I am always hungry." That is also a good definition of a hustler. A hustler is always hungry. A hustler is never satisfied. Even if you have all the money in the world, you just feel, as a hustler, you feel like there's still room for me to get more. There's still room for me to know more. There's still room for me to be more. There's still room for me to access more. So as a hustler is always hungry. Those are one of the qualities of a full-blown hustler. Another quality of a hustler is that a hustler has more than one solution option. If you look at the present situation of the country today and the way work is being done, I will say you should not put all your eggs in one basket. Why do I say that? People are funny. You will give contracts to people sometimes, and you give them your deadline. I want my stuff delivered today, and they'll tell you, "Yes, sir, yes, ma, it's going to be delivered today." I tell you the truth, I lie a lot. In 2 weeks, you might not get that stuff delivered. So, how do you handle such situation? If, especially when you are now a middleman, like you are also getting products from somebody to deliver to somebody, and your word is on the line. Your reputation is on the line. As a hustler, you must not have one solution option. You should at least have 3 solution options. So that if one doesn't fulfill or meet up with the expectation, you have somebody else to fall back on that can deliver. So, as a hustler, or part of the qualities of a hustler is that a hustler knows and has more than one solution option. Another attribute of a hustler is that a hustler thinks on his feet. You cannot be a hustler and you get overwhelmed. You can't be a hustler and you get overwhelmed at some point in time whereby you don't know what to do. Whereby you are in a situation and everything just looks all more good up and you don't know how to go further. As a hustler, as a genuine hustler, you should not be stuck. You should always be able to think on your feet and look for solutions to any problem that comes ahead of you. Alright, let me leave one more before we move on to the next item, and that is that a hustler zeros no one. A hustler zeros nobody. A hustler sees everybody as people that can get him results one way or the other, one time or the other. A hustler is a friend to everybody. A hustler is not proud. You actually need to be simple and you should be light, because as a hustler you don't know who will bring what for you. You don't know who will save you. You don't know who knows who. There's a word I always hear: you are 2 people away from anybody you want to access in this life. So if you zero some people, you don't know who those people know, and you talking with them might actually just make communicating with the person you want to meet easier. So as a hustler, you don't zero nobody. Even the gate man at the entrance of your workplace, even the gate man at the entrance of where you are going to deliver, even those bike men on the road, you don't zero anybody. Because you see, as a hustler, you should see everybody as a customer or somebody that has access to the customer that you need. Alright, I believe we've been able to learn 1 or 2 things from there. So let us go to how to stand out as a hustler. Let's quickly go on a short break, then we'll get to that. Thank you.
Ó tẹ́ mi sáyé o, ó fún mi lọ́kà jẹ́. Ó ní kí n jẹ̀yẹ tán, ó ní kí n jẹ kan sí i. Ó ní kí n ṣe yẹn tán, ó ní kí n ṣe kan sí i. Baby, baby, na so you dey do me. That thing you do before, I like the feeling. Femi, Femi, oh.
Welcome back from that short break. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things in the process of this topic, how to stand out as a hustler. So we've spoken about who a hustler is, we've spoken about how to distinguish hustlers in their various levels and the qualities, what makes a hustler stand out, what differentiates them, what makes them unique in their own light. So now we'll go forward to part of the things that you need to learn how to do to make you stand out, as a hustler. If you look at the present situation of the country and the way life is, you will see that the opportunities available is not enough for everybody that needs the opportunity. So what will make you stand out? What will make you the favorite person to be picked for such opportunity? What will make you stand out? What are those qualities that people will see or that you will have that others won't, or that you will have and will make the people that needs to maybe get you, employ you, need your service, will see and choose you to be the best person? That is what we are going into now. And the first one is you should learn the part. Learn the part. See, you can have a hustling spirit as a gift or as an acquired skill, right? I believe one time or the other, maybe in school, we would have heard about the Joseph. Your boss will call him Joseph Alala. You would have heard about Joseph, the dreamer. You would have heard about his story, his ordeal, how he lived, was thrown into the pit, and then sold into slavery, and all those challenges he faced. Should I tell you that all those challenges were actually equipping Joseph to become a better person, to be ready for the final exam of facing the king of Egypt? Or should we call him Pharaoh now? All those challenges equipped him, made him better. So in those processes, he was learning. He was learning how to roll. He was learning how to deal with people. He was learning how to manage things. He was learning those things all through those stages. But if we don't know the end, we will feel like, man, this guy is suffering. The dream he dreamt was nothing. He has suffered. This guy can never become anything. Alas, it was actually God preparing him for the place that was great. So Joseph was a big time hustler who took his time to learn the ways of where he found himself in. He learned. So you need to learn from those that are more experienced in it. As a hustler, you should be able to look out for people that know better than you in your field or in any place of interest you want to find yourself. You need to look out for those that are experienced in it and learn from them. Yes, you need to look out for those things, learn from them, equip yourself so that you will be better. So you need to learn the part. In the process of you learning from those people, you will see their mistakes and you will be better ready to do better for yourself, to know how to handle situations when they come forth. And part of the things you can actually do is to read books. Books is more like a compressed wisdom of somebody. So what they have gone through in 30 years, they wrote it into a book, or they put it into a book, and you sit down and read it in 3 to 4 hours, and you have been equipped by the experience, the lessons, the wisdom that that person has gathered in 40 years. You have learnt it in 4 hours. So you need to learn the part. Another thing you need to do as a hustler is to look the part. You have to look the part. You can't call yourself a laundryman or a dry cleaner, and your clothes are looking all rough and tattered, if I can say that. You need to look the part. When people see you, they should be able to say that, okay, this person calling himself this actually looks like it truly. Let me share a little story about looking the part. Years ago I was into laundry, and I met somebody. The lady was actually staying on my street, and I never knew that she has actually been looking at me, studying me, and looking at the way I dress and go out. So one day she summoned courage and came to meet me like, hello sir, please I'd like to see you. She was serving then. I'm a copper, and I don't know if there's any work opportunity in the firm or the organization where you work at. I'd like to give you my CV so you can help me submit it. So in case something comes up, I'd like to work. And I laughed. She said, "No, I'm serious, sir. I seriously need a job." And I laughed. I asked her that, okay, what do you think I do, or where do you think I work? She said, from my mode of dressing, she thinks I should probably be working in a bank or in an organization that is top notch. And I laughed again. She said, what is paining me is why I used to laugh, oh God. I just laughed like, okay, I'm coming, I'm going somewhere. And I said, okay, if that is what you think, you are actually out, you are totally out of the way. I am into laundry. He said, so where do you now go to when you dress like that, when you are all dressed up and looking good? And I said, I actually have 2 or 3 places I go to. It is either if I'm going to church, I'm going to my workplace, like maybe I have a meeting or a delivery. That is when you see me dressed up like that. Or I have an event. I said, maybe I think your church is a good place to be. You have big people in your church, so maybe I should drop my CV. You can help me give it to those big people in your church. And I laughed. I said, okay, no problem. But before we do that, this is where I'm going to concerning that story. I looked the part. What she thought I was doing was totally different from what I was actually doing at that time. But because I was dressing well, I looked good. She felt like you are working at a very good organization. So looking the part actually just makes you a better option to be chosen. When people see you looking the part that you call yourself to be, they see you as a professional in that field. They see you as somebody that they can relate with. They see you as somebody that they can give tasks to do, because you are looking the part. Alright? So if you are just joining us, you can follow us on YouTube Alore Radio, or via our website at www.aloreradio.com, and you can also reach out to us via our phone line on 09039 853731. Alright, so let's quickly move forward. You also need to think the part. The next point is that you need to think the part. One of the things that baffles me in this country is that people are not ready to sit down and stand up. They are not ready to sit down and stand out. They prefer to do what every other person is doing. And even if you are going to do what every other person is doing, do it in a better way. But most people just do this garbage in, garbage out thing. They don't try to look for, okay, these are the things I have learned from this person that's been doing it so far. Okay, I think if I add this into it, it is going to be a better thing. They just do it the same way. It's like a replica. So people don't think the part. They just want to. I just want to be called a businessman. I just want to be called somebody selling this or selling that. Because my neighbor is doing it and he or she is doing well there. Why don't you look for something that you can actually do, something you can create, or look for things that you can actually add to what you have seen and do it in a better way. If you are going to be going into any business and you just want to do an exact replica of what you have seen, I would suggest that you better just don't go into it, because people will rather go for the person that has more experience in it than you that you are just doing it because you see somebody doing it. So you need to be able to think the part. You need to be able to sit down and look at it that, okay, what can I do to be unique? What can I do to be better? What can I do to stand out? So as a hustler, you should be able to sit down, think about it, and plan out how to go about whatever you have in mind to do. So you're still on Alori FM, transmitting from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. And we have been discussing about the topic hustle has no age restriction. Alright, so for thinking about, you have to be proactive along the way of your hustle. Be ready to provide and prefer solutions to problems that is not linked in your area of specialization. It is a plus to your hustle meter. It is a plus to your hustle meter. So as a hustler, you should be able to think the part, look out for other problems that you feel that, okay, I think I can prefer solutions to this thing. Don't just be rigid. Look for other ways to actually help provide solution. So you are working in an organization and you are working in the production department, and there's a problem in the security department. You should be able to like think about it that, okay, if I was here, what would I have suggested that they should do? All these little things makes you stand out. People just prefer you and think that, okay, I think this person is even more resourceful. Alright, so you have to also be able to do that. Okay? So the next point here is that you have to do the part. You have to be able to do the part. You should not call yourself what you are not. You should not call yourself what you are not. If you call yourself a caterer, please be sure that you know how to cook. If you call yourself a doctor, please be sure that you know these things, because it is when you know how to do this part, the things that you call yourself, that people will come to ask for your services and all like that. Okay, so a hustler is not just streetwise. As a hustler, you don't just have to be streetwise, you also have to be street connected. So you know how to do these things. Do you also have people around you that should, in case you need help, you can actually reach out to people and they will be ready to help you out in any kind of situation you find yourself? So a hustler is somebody who has the skill, and if he doesn't have the skill, he knows where to get such skills from, and he knows how to access it. It's just like what I said earlier on, that as a hustler you don't have to zero anybody, because the person that you feel like is irrelevant today might be your savior tomorrow. Okay, so you need to have access to people in different places, because you might be needing their service sometime later on. Let us quickly go on a short break, and from there we'll move on to the concluding part on the topic also has no age restriction. So this is still Alori Radio. We're transmitting live from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. Just stay tuned.
Wow. Yeah.
I love this SK battle.
So I don't roll with fake niggas, man. I keep it real. 100. Skibi Mayana. Oh, Skibi Mayana. Let back be back on. Fires in my mouth just like dragon. Whatever happened yesterday is far gone. Niggas want me to stop, so I ride on. So I put my swag on. AP on my wrist, 60,000. When I come around the put.
And welcome back to Alori Radio. And if you're just joining us, you can follow us on YouTube at Alori Radio. And you can also watch us live on our website at www.haloriradio.com. And you can also follow us. You can also reach us via our phone number 09039853731. So the topic we've been discussing so far is household has no age restriction. I believe we've been able to learn one or two things from the definition, from the qualities, from the attributes, and how to stand out as a hustler. Okay, so let me drop some points here that I want you to hold on to, and it's just going to help you along the way in life, in your career, in whatever you're doing. And one of those things I want you to know for sure is that you cannot know everything. You can't. But you can be involved in everything. You can be involved in everything. You can make money from everything. And how is that possible? So let's say for instance you are a doctor. Okay? Definitely, let's say you're a veterinary doctor. Definitely your dogs or the animals that they bring to you, you treat them. You recommend food and things like that they should take. There are times whereby the person that comes over to you will tell you that, okay, please, do you have somebody that actually knows how to build a dog cage? Or do you have somebody that actually sells good food, good animal food? When you refer your customers to these people, you can actually tell them that, okay, this is the person I'm referring you to. And in the process of you referring them, one way or the other, the person you have referred them to, they will want to appreciate you. Thank you. Out of the hundreds of people that you know, you referred this person to me. Thank you. This is my way of appreciating you. It might actually get you something, maybe a gift or a monetary gift or something. And in the process of doing that, you are also getting something. Okay, so as a hustler, you need to be able to be involved in everything. Okay, so those are part of this. That's one of the ways that you can actually stand out as a hustler. Another thing is I want you to know is that you should have a hustle mindset. I heard this word somewhere. I think the person came to Nigeria one time like that, and the person said that people are complaining that there's no job and things like that in the country. But what he sees here is that there are lots of opportunities in this country. You just need to see. Anytime I remember that word, I feel we are not really seeing, we are not really paying close attention enough. It's the reason why we are not seeing things that we can actually go into that can bring results, that we can start making money from. You actually need to be able to sit down and look at your environment. What can I do here? What do they lack here that I can provide and I will be making something from? But people find it difficult to sit down and look. So because we can't sit down and look is the reason why we don't get the kind of results that we expect sometimes. So as a hustler, you should be able to sit down and look. You should be able to sit down and have that mindset of, what can I do? What can I do here? What can I do to generate money for myself? Or who can I partner with? Who can I go and meet to generate money for myself? Alright? So you have to have that mindset. When you have that mindset, you see yourself tapping into opportunities that has always been. Those things have always been around. They have always been around you. But it's just because you don't have that mindset to see, to actually look closely. That is why you don't see such opportunities that has always been around you. Alright? So I will quickly do a recap on this, then we'll move on to what is next. So we've spoken about the definition of a hustler, and I said the hustler is somebody that provides, that has the ability to provide whatever is needed amidst the noise and distraction. Okay? A hustler is someone who doesn't let any opportunity pass him or her by. A hustler is a jack of all trades and knows masters in others. Okay? A hustler is a jack of all trades and knows masters in others. You definitely have your own professional field, but in the other things that you know, at least you know that you know maybe a little bit, but you know those that are actually good in that field. So as a hustler, you should be a jack of all trades. A jack of all trades just simply means somebody that is connected to other things. So if the opportunity for those things comes up, you'll be able to like, okay, I have somebody that we can do this thing together. And at the end of the day, you go home happy because you've made something from the little you know, but also because you know somebody that is good at that thing, and you are partnered together, and results has been gotten. A hustler is somebody that is. A hustler is not someone that you will say you can't determine a hustler by their age. Yeah, a hustler is not someone you can determine that. Also, it's not something that you can say, okay, it is restricted to this age, or you have to be from this age to this age, and those that are hustlers. No, you can be 20 years old and you're a hustler. You can be 15 years old. I have seen young children that are actually hustlers, and they are getting results. You get, because why? Because they actually found themselves in environments that provided opportunities and they keyed into it. So I want you to also look out for opportunities. What is around me that I can key into? A hustler is not shy. A hustler is not proud. Like I said, you need to be able to tap into those opportunities and earn from it. Well, I feel like some people will be like, okay, I am learning. I went to school. I learned this, and the opportunity to learn or to practice what I've learned is not forthcoming. And my CVs and the organizations that I've dropped them at, they are not giving me the jobs I'm getting there are not the jobs that I learned. I would advise you to please drop the ego and first thing, just get into that organization. First thing, try and get into that organization. In the process of you doing and working there, you will be able to let them see what you are worth. Okay? They say that they don't pay you because of what you are worth. Yeah, they are paid because of what you offer. Alright? So if you feel like you are worth 2 million naira and they are giving you 100,000 naira for starters, and you know that you are worth 2 million, prove it to them that you are worth much more than what they are offering you. Okay? So that's that. A hustler is not determined by age or financial capacity. I want you to note that too. We also said that a hustler uses the little he has or the little that he knows to get the results, the kind of results that he wants. A hustler is somebody that uses a seed to get a tree. A hustler is somebody that uses 5 to get 50. Alright? A hustler also learns how to look out for the small big things. A hustler looks out for those small things that, though they look small, but they have potential in them. Are you that kind of person? Do you try to look out for potentials around you? Or you are the type that sees those things and feel like, no, it's not, I can't do this kind of thing, no, it's not for me. After everything I have learned, after all the certificates I have gathered, no. As a hustler does not think like that. A hustler doesn't think like that. A hustler thinks, okay, this is actually a good opportunity. How can I go into this and make the best from it? Alright? So, those are part of the things that differentiate a hustler from every other person. Okay, so the attributes of a hustler that we spoke about before, I made mention of a line that the Hulk used in the movie Avengers. They said when they were to fight one of I think, okay, when they were to fight some aliens that came out from the sky, I can't remember the part now, and they were telling him that, okay, Hulk, it's time for you to be angry. You have to be angry now. And he said, the thing you guys don't understand is that I am always hungry. So as a hustler, you have to always be hungry. You always have to be hungry. You always have to be ready to key into any opportunity that pops up. You don't need to be in those businesses before you can earn from those businesses. You don't need to be in those line of business or in those skills. You don't need to know it fully before you can start earning from it. So long you have somebody that actually knows this thing well, you can just partner with the person. That is why I will always say it. I don't say no anytime any opportunity comes to me, even if I don't know the thing. I know somebody that knows it. So me referring the person, probably I'll tell the person, okay, guy, they're in Nigeria, you know that there's no work. So I have something for you. How do we do this thing so I can also make something from it? It's not about you cheating or anything now. It's actually you partnering with the person. Okay, we do it 60-40, we do it 80-20, and everybody goes home happy. So as a hustler, you should be able to access and key into any opportunity that pops up. Okay? So we also spoke about a hustler having more than one solution. A hustler is never stuck. If you are a genuine hustler, you must never be stuck. You have to be able to look for solutions anytime you are in a dicey situation. People are the hardest resources to manage, and situations can come up. You have a delivery to do, and the bike man you called is not showing up on time, or the cab you ordered for is not showing up on time. As a hustler, you should be able to have other options. Who else can I call that can come? Who else can I send that can deliver on time? So when you have other options, excuses and apologies will not be too constant or regular in your line of business. As you always say, customer is king. So if you want to keep them, you have to keep making them feel that you value their time and you value their money. Okay? So as a hustler, you also should be able to think on your feet. What can I do? This is a problem coming forth, or I am in a problem now. What can I do to sort this thing out so that it doesn't escalate? What can I do? Who do I call? Who should I reach out to? So those are the things that makes a hustler stand out. You should be able to think on your feet. A hustler zeros no one. A hustler zeros no one. From the least to the top, you have to treat everybody like they are king. You have to treat everybody like they are valuable. And yes, they are. Yes, they are. The person that seemingly looks like a nobody to you might actually be the key to the somebody that you are looking for. So you should be able to give everybody that respect and treat them like the human beings that they are. Alright, so you have to learn the part. As a hustler, you have to learn the part. Show that you know how to do this thing. And if you don't know how to do this thing, be humble enough to go and learn it from other people. Alright, before I talk about the other three things again, which is a recap, let us go on a short break. Still on Alleyway Radio, transmitting from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. Do stay tuned.
Anybody will won't fight you, better come, they already know. I'll be right beside you, like the wall of Jericho. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. Monagiso, 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 my baby boo. I'll be a soldier for you. I'm getting better in Kung Fu. You should know I got it, and you don't need to guide me too. I'll be right beside you in anything that you do. If you ever need saving, I will be running to you, running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running to you. I'll be running to you, running.
Now welcome back to the program Business and Life on Alleyway Radio. If you're just joining us, you can watch us live on YouTube at Alleyway Radio. You can also watch us via our website, that's www.allowayradio.com. And if you want to reach us via our phone line, you can call us on 09039853731. Alright, so we stopped at learning the part on how to be a hustler. You're not restricted by age or by if you're rich or you're from a humble background. No, you're not restricted by those things. A hustler is just somebody that sniffs out opportunities and makes good use of them. Alright, moving on to the next one. You have to also look the part. You have to look the part. You have to look the part. If you say that, I used an example before, if you call yourself a launderer or a dry cleaner and you are coming to me to tell me that, okay, please, I would like you to patronize me, this is what I do, and you don't look it, I am certainly not going to give you my clothes. I'm certainly not going to give you my clothes because you don't look what you call yourself. Alright? So, you have to look the part of what you call yourself. You have to look it. When you look it, it actually makes people want to like talk to you and think, okay, I think this person looks like what they call themselves. Then conversations from there, you should now be able to convince your prospect about what you do. Okay? So you also have to think the part. Thinking the part simply means looking for how to get solutions, provide solutions in any organization or any system you find yourself. You have to think it and make them see that, okay, this is why I'm here and I'm also providing solution. Don't just work for somebody because of the money you want to make from them. Let them feel like you are concerned about their happiness, you are concerned about them getting good service, you are concerned about them getting good results. When you do this, it makes you stand out. It makes you stand out. Do you know that a simple checking up on your customers or on your prospects can actually go a long way? Simple calling or sending text messages. Hi sir, it's been a while, I just called to say hi to you, actually goes a long way. So as a hustler, you should be ready to also think, okay, what can I do to make me stand out from there's no business in this country that it is only being done by one person. Every business has a competitor. So as a business person, you should be able to do that. Think the part. And lastly, you should be able to do the part. If you call yourself a this, please be that this. Okay? If you call yourself a professional, whatever, please make sure that you can actually provide that service. Okay, there are times whereby you now collect, like I said before, you get the opportunities of something that you are not good at. That is why I said a hustler is a jack of all trades, and you should have masters in all those things. So as a doctor, you get a request of, okay, please, do you have somebody that knows how to construct, maybe build a building or paint a house? Yes, you might not be good at that, and you tell them, yes, I actually do that too. Get the job, look for somebody that is good at it, partner with the person, deliver well, you both go home happy. Okay? So a hustler sniffs out opportunity and makes good use of those opportunities so that it gets results. So that brings us to the end of today's program on business and life on Aluri Radio. I hope I've been able to dish out one or two things that you can actually infuse into your daily life and your business to actually make you get better results. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. My name is Oluwatomi. Thank you. So we'll see you some other time.
Here we stand as a people with one song, with one voice. We're a nation undivided and poised. We will take a stand and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. Here we are as a people with one heart for one cause. We're the time.